numbers, right, when everybody's gone. I guess I'm here this afternoon. I never drank this early in the day, but I did. Liar, right? So, actually, I'm here to do a little bit of, in the Navy, they call it damage control. I was the guy who had all the posts on Facebook yesterday about Tommy. It was, he took the pictures. They weren't photoshopped. There was no gun to his head. I mean, this is how you're a chief. The man who protects billions of dollars worth of Navy submarines acts in his days when he's not at work. So here goes. There are a lot of what ifs in this world. Everyone today has them. People's paths cross and immediately changes the course of your life. And in many cases, you don't realize how much it has really changed until so much time has passed. During a time many years ago, your chief, my dear friend, Kenny Jeffrey, introduced me to you in the last 21 plus years. I believe I have some what ifs. I got over now. Okay, now it's good. Right? If we had never met. First, I had never been blessed with the love and friendship of the matriarch of the Clapsaddle family, our lovely Mrs. C. I know many here today will agree with me in thanking you, sharing you with your one and only for the fire service. We applaud you for that, Mrs. C. Also, Mrs. C, for the record, you were the first one I've ever played words with friends with. I know I had to use some bad words to beat you. And I know you used to call Tommy and said, "Oh, dear God, T.A., your new friend has quite the vocabulary." I never would have had the pleasure, love, and friendship of your family. Bobette, her sisters, Mitch and Mike, Danielle and Ray, Doc and Ellen, and their lovely grandchildren who are up and back there. You have all truly become my family. In my teenage years, I was introduced to a small group of young, hardcore firemen from the Mystic area. Notably, many have become some of the best in the business and are probably here today, although I don't see all of them. That group of friends and brothers has largely grown since that time in the early 80s, when I first came to southeastern Connecticut. I would not be friends with so many of you today if it wasn't for Tommy. Next one's a little tough. I would not have been there for you, the early AM phone call for support and love when our Bobette, my new fishing partner, was diagnosed with breast cancer. During that time, I bought a road bike. I started training. I ride back and forth from Windsor to Niantic, up into the Berkshires, sometimes riding 75 to 100 miles a day. I don't look it now. I knew I wanted to participate in Coach Calhoun's Ride for the Cure and raise money for cancer research, where I was recognized as one of the top fundraisers in the state 2 years in a row. I will admit today that I didn't do that for my own self-esteem. I did it to see if I had the strength, courage, and determination that you had during those difficult times. I also would not have been there when I received the call that our Bobette was cancer-free. And notably, one of our friends in our close circle was also cancer-free. drives from the captain of the truck to the training chief, now on to the 5th chief of not one but 2 naval bases. At home, as a fireman in Windsor Locks, I always talked about my friend Tommy. Everything revolved around my friend Tommy. Tommy was instrumental in creating the sub-base FAST unit. And for those of you who are not in the fire service, FAST means Firefighter Assist and Search Team. It is a group at a working fire that is the best of the best. Each time they were called to work during his command at notable major incidents such as the sub-base fire, the sub-fire in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the Mystic Boat Yard fire, and many multiple armed fires in and around the London area, I was so proud to say my buddy Tommy and his sub-base FAST unit are there getting the job done. I never would have owned, oh, here's some other what ifs. I missed some. Here's a few big what ifs. Now this gets a little kind of common. No more crying. I'm going to get this one in the book. I never would have owned a pair of white fishing boats. I never would have owned orange Grundens. As a matter of fact, until you arrived in Niantic at Boats Incorporated, James B. Tackle didn't even sell orange Grundens and white boots. Some of us only wore them in April when we were spring cleaning the boats. Today, everyone at Boats Inc. wears orange slickers, white boots. Some probably think it helps them catch. I never would have gone sea bass fishing during the height of the Montauk shark tournaments. Nor would I have ever been standing on the back of a boat in November, freezing my balls off, watching everyone around us anchored up catching blackfish while we patiently sat there eating peanut butter and crackers. I definitely never would have gone fluke fishing, let alone fish not one, but 2 fluke tournaments. I never would have enjoyed our overnight trips to the canyon or the Renegade, where we sat for countless hours talking about work, family, and just about anything else that could keep us awake. I know Bobette would get irritated with me each weekend when we loaded the boat and steamed off. Our 4-hour steam out to the edge. Tommy and I sat and talked about him retiring so that you both could walk the boardwalk with your soon-to-be new puppy. And also join the pickleball league. But mysteriously, our return trip back to the dock, half in a bag, was all about working another year and investing because the market was hot. Lastly, I never would have had the opportunity to be hired as a mate on a fishing boat. I'm an electrical contractor. Tommy was my very first official boss aboard the M&M. Up to that point, I'd never worked for anyone, being involved in a family business and self-employed my entire life. That's actually where those goddamn boots and the Grundens showed up. Tommy, you amaze me with your compassion. Wherever we go, whoever you meet, you greet everyone with either a firm handshake or a hug showing your love for others. One thing I'll always hold dear to my heart is that I wouldn't be standing here today in front of the top brass in the Navy, some of the best firemen in the business right here in this room today, and probably call you chief, friend, and above all, brother. That's coming from one only child to another. You did it, brother. You did it. You made it to the end of your watch without a serious firefighter injury or death. Something I knew was always in the back of your mind and weighed heavily on you throughout your career. You have definitely left a job better than you found it. Your accomplishments are now part of the Sub-Bases Department's history. Chief Ruggiero couldn't be here today in Windsor Locks, but asked to say, on behalf of the officers and members of the Windsor Locks Fire Department, we'd like to thank you for your friendship and keeping our beloved Chief's name alive. We wish you a healthy, happy, and well-deserved retirement. Brother, on behalf of my family, all of our friends, the entire Niantic fishing fleet, we congratulate you today. We're very proud of the legacy you have created. You will go down in history as one of, if not the best fire chiefs to have ever served in the state of Connecticut.